Hello, Mr. Charles. Welcome back. How was your Breeders' Cup with the Churchill Downs spires behind you?
Actually, I had a really good Breeders' Cup. I did okay on Friday, but I knocked it out of the park on Saturday.
Mm. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people had a good Saturday. I know Terry and I had a good Saturday too. So the shame that I screwed up the webinar stuff because everybody else could have participated with us. Charles, and we certainly had enough people hit on the link to make it worthwhile, but it just didn't work. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, but I do know what's going to happen tonight, Charles. Jamie and Sean will return. I'm pretty sure it'll be Jamie and Sean. I think so. We have on Felipe Valdez, jockey that are recently wrote an article about over on horseracingtoday.net. So it's content there. She's got a couple of stories up. We'll have another story from Ronaldo regarding the breeding that won a bunch of Breeders' Cup races. He does a wonderful job of like the lineage. That'll be up a little bit later on today. So always great content over there at horseracingtoday.net. Also some great content. If you go to our social sites, you see them streaming below. X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever it is that you communicate with your friends. Horse Racing, the number 2 day, Horse Racing Today. And while you're here on YouTube, kindly hit that subscribe button, hit the share button, take that link, put it on your social sites, share with your friends that like horse racing. So I think we do a pretty good job. Had some nice long shots yesterday. One other thing, Charles, before we go on, today at Evangeline Downs, a little bit later on today, free track of the day over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link down in the description below. Kindly use that so they know where you're coming from. All right, Charles, you and I are going to talk about races at Churchill Downs on this 9-race card. Weather's nice in your part of the country. Track is fast. Turf is firm. What did you think of the card?
Yeah, for one thing, it is a beautiful day here. It's 90 degrees, a slight breeze, so perfect. This first race is 6.5 furlongs. Claiming price of $50,000. Purse is $75,000. This is for fillies, 2-year-olds.
2-year-old girls, Charles. Just about anything can happen. So far at the Churchill Downs meet, 6.5 furlongs. Tactical speed has been one of the best ways to get to the winner's circle. 24% of the horses so far have gone wire to wire. Very strong inside 3 bias. 4 and out from the post positions get discounted. So we're looking for a little bit of early speed in race number 1. Here we do some simulations, 1,000, using speed figures to calculate our own odds. We're looking for horses that have simulation odds, like here lower than morning line preferably, but really what we want them to be is the post time odds to be higher than our simulated odds. That's value. Par plus, based upon the speed figures in our 1,000 simulations, the chance that a horse will run a speed figure that is at or above par for the average winner at this level. We also use some early pace to dictate who's got the best chance to be on the lead. And then finally, based upon our projected pace, which horses will find the pace to mirror their best performances. Charles, looks like there's plenty of speed in here, but one's a little bit quicker than the rest.
Yeah, we do have plenty of speed in here. We got the 3 that has the best chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole, which is the 3 with the 53% chance. But, there's a couple others in there that might have a say in that, but most likely the 3 will have that lead at that quarter pole. When it comes to simulation odds, what do we have here? Do we have anything today? Oh, yeah, the 5. Right around 3 to 5, and you got 3.5 to 1 morning line. So that's a nice little overlay, and that's about it. That's what we got.
And then it looks like that 5 horse, in addition to having good chance to perform here, also a good chance to be, or at least a much stronger chance than the rest of the field, to put out a race where its speed figure is above par. A couple of horses, a trio in here, the 6, the 7, and the 2 with strong C zones, so they should like the way that this race shape it goes in terms of the speed. Looking at the race shape for pace handicappers here, most of the horses want to be middle forward. So that could open up the door for a closer like the one, provided he has enough late speed to overcome the lead. Early on, if you're looking for speed, I would look for speed of the speed here. That's got to press the right button, Charles, to make that happen. That could be that 5 horse, Crickle. Hitting a 3, but yeah, you got a bunch of them in here. So I think that pace could be contested early on. Open up the door for the 1. Late speed goes to the 5 horse, Crickle. So Crickle, tie for the top late pace. Might not be able to pass what you can't catch. Does have an 8-point total pace advantage over the 3 and the 6. So maybe the 5 horse is the one to look at here. Charles, what do you think?
I mean, the 5 definitely has a shot. I do believe that. I think it's a wide open race. I like the 3 though on top. Has the speed, I think, like it says, and it won last time out. Second start after a layoff, so I think everything's ready to go. The 2 is my second choice. This one has that tactical speed. It should be sitting third or fourth around the race. Probably make one big move. And this is his third start after a layoff, and you get Luis Saez aboard, so he's a hot jock. And the 5 is now my third choice. Tactical tactical speed, drops in class. I think this horse could do whatever he wants, go front or back, come off of it a little bit. Trainer gets 17% when he puts him in claiming. And then that 4 horse is my final pick here. This one will most likely be closing, third start after a layoff, and the trainer gets 28% when he puts him in claiming race. Right now, I'm not going to place a bet in this race because I think it's too wide open.
He's going to save his money for later, for a rainy, it won't be rainy, it's sunny, pick 4 or 5, something come. I know Charles likes to swing for the fences. But we're not swinging for the fences with that 3 horse because right now it is the 7-5 favorite, Charles. But still, according to our simulation odds, there's still value with the 3 horse, intermittent fast. Something I try to do, not always successful, but top last race speed figure. The resume does say, though, that the second start after a layoff is going to be better than the first one, which was the top last race speed figure. Number 5, Crickle, going to drop in class after running better early pace numbers through the first half mile last out. And again, you see here, strong chance to be par plus, overlay, good chance to be forwardly placed. Might be on the right spot on the track. Almond Fudge, the 2 horse, just needs to run back to the lone Churchill Downs race 2 races ago. And if he does that, got a winner there for Luis Saez, as you mentioned. Third up off a layoff and does have a decent maintenance workout to keep the saw sharp. Finally ready for trouble, Charles, something we always are around here. Improved in both races after its debut. So if it continues on that trend, it should be even better in the fourth start of its career. 50-cent try for me, the 2, the 3, the 5, with the 3, the 5, with the 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7 to make out my first picks of the day. I want to say thank you to Beverly Taylor for the thumbs up. If you like Beverly Taylor, you're smart, and you agree that this show, you like what you see around here, please give us a thumbs up on Facebook as well as YouTube. Helps us with their algorithms. We appreciate that. See, first race, Charles, it looks like they're making their way to the starting gate.
No, they're behind it now as we speak. So
yeah, so really no time to go through the second race. Again, remember tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it. Sean and Jamie for Horse Center with jockey Felipe Valdez. Great article over at horseracingtoday.net regarding Felipe from our good friend Aubrey Green. Make sure you read that and all the articles that are posted over at horseracingtoday.net. Additionally, free track today at Guaranteed Tip Sheet is Evangeline Downs. And there's a link down in the description down there below. When you head over there, you'll see Evangeline is free in the first race tonight at Evangeline. A quick 300 yards on the dirt, the popcorn races. 10-1 shot, Charles, on top. Miss Eden Sue. So if that 10-1 win, it makes the whole night worthwhile, no?
that's right. That's what you do. Put it all on that one.
Yeah, put it all on that.
All of it.
Mortgage, future,
the
kids,
house,
college,
all.
401k, and the odds would be not 1 to 9, right? Anyway,
That's right.
we don't want to do that, folks. Of course, that's just being sarcastic. I don't want anybody to think that I'm actually advocating for that. Yeah, you have a dog, Charles, right? You have a dog, right?
Yeah.
Is your dog's hair everywhere?
No, not necessarily because he's an outdoor dog. So.
Yeah, our dog wouldn't dare. If it's she doesn't, she's so dainty. I call her my chubby blonde girlfriend, my lab. And
if it's over 78 degrees, doesn't want to go outside.
And if it's hot, doesn't want to go outside. But you know, she loves the snow. Like when it's snowing out, we put a glove up on the desk right by the back door, and she associates the glove with us making snowballs.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to she'll chase those snowballs and eat them all day long. She goes out and with her nose rolls her own snowballs and then eats them. It's the funniest thing. All right. Anyway, race number 1 is off today at Churchill. Also at. So the 2 horse right now, Almond Fudge, is on the lead. To the outside is Intermittent Fast. The 6 horse steal the spotlight right now in third with the 5 horse Crickle. in fourth. You have on the rail, the one horse, Mala Jones. And then I think to that horse is outside, way back in the race there. It looks to me like I can't tell. It's the 4 horse, Ready for Trouble. It's going to have to close pretty aggressively. The jockey standing up on the 1 horse. The jockey on the 2 horse is asking for a little bit out of that horse right now, Luis Saez. I think the 3 horse is going to run by, but no problem. The question is who's going to finish or contend with the 3 horse. As they come around the turn on the way home, it does look like that 4 horse, Charles, is going to make a pretty big run, screw up my trifecta here, but 3 horse is going to be your winner, unless that 4 horse can run him down. Looks like he's going to try.
Yeah, I don't think he can. No, he ain't going to catch him.
No, so it's going to go 3 and then 4. The question, who's going to be third? Third horse looks like it's going to be the 1 horse. I don't know. That 4 horse is making up a lot of ground at the end. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1 in the opener. There you go. A couple of interesting notes on that first race, Charles, is that the 3 horse did basically run second, but everybody else who came in the money there closed from the back of the pack. So that 4 horse was way off early on. So keep that in mind. Maybe a lot of winners that are up front today, but if you don't get the lead, you could tire, and maybe you want to use closers for your exacta and trifecta and superfecta horses.
Yeah, because well, remember this race did have a lot of speed, but there was only 2 horses up there and this one, and battling it out most of the way. So,
what are they going to battle for in race number 2, Charles?
Well, they're going to battle for at a mile, maiden claiming a 20,000. The purse is 42,000, and guess what? This is for 2-year-olds.
More 2-year-olds. Yeah, wonderful, right?
Yay.
2-year-olds in race 2. Gotta love them. But what we do like is that we do have a sense of how you win at a mile. Stalkers do pretty well there. So maybe another repeat of what we just saw in that first race at second or third, run by at the end. A little bit of a rail penalty for Vera Cruzin. Posts 2 and 3 get a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7 play fair. If you happen to wear an 8 or out, which I don't think comes into play here, but if you do at a mile, keep in mind those horses take a major hit. In race number 2, we do have a couple of scratches. The 3 horses out, sharpen your faith. Probably a good idea, especially if you're late in life. And number 8, Kai Kian, is also out of this race, Charles. So we're looking for some speed, and a couple of horses have some speed, Charles.
Yeah, it's the 4. Well, not the 4, really. It's the 7 at 60%. The 4 does have some speed, and I think that's a scary speed of the race. But the 7 has a 60% chance of getting a lead at the quarter pole. So, but he has to worry about that 4 a little bit. The assimilation odds, we have, the 7 itself. We have it at even money, and the morning line is 4.5 to 1. So that's a nice little overlay, if you ask me.
Really, none of them in their limited experience have shown the ability to get to par to win at this level. And the only one with a decent C-zone is the 1. Vera Cruzin, although it's going to have to overcome that rail penalty. In race 2, our pace handicap, and look at this, Charles, the 6 horse showed it wanted to close in its only other in its starts so far. Everybody else, Charles, hasn't wanted to be within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. So this one, 2-year-olds that haven't performed, wide open. Typically, horses that win in this scenario do get to the front. So you got Sting Music, Tizzy Indy, Noble Gentleman, and Vera Cruzin as your likely horses to be forwardly placed. Although the 7 and the 4, they do look like they're going to have the most early speed. On the late speed side, look at that, Charles. Sting Music. Not only is it the top early pace horse, it is the top late pace horse. A case of you can't catch what you can't pass. If you look at the total pace, this one is 15 points higher than the next closest. That means a 3-length win. So if all things go according to pace, this should be a runaway winner for the 7, Charles, but you like the scary speed horse.
Yeah, I like the scary speed horse because I think he could actually rate a little bit better. But I still think it's like a 3-horse race because, the 7 does have probably the best speed, and the 1 has the best probably overall, I think, closing and other things going for it. But I'm going to stick with the 4 on top. The 4, Keith DeSormo gets 18%. Second time they race. He's an excellent trainer. Like I just said, this horse has got tactical speed. Second start after a layoff, which is nice. And this horse does drop in class today. The 7 is my second choice here. Drops in class. McPeak gets 14% with first time and when they go to a route. And then the 1 is my third choice. Drops in class. McPeak again as the trainer. Gets 22% when he takes him from a straight maiden to a maiden claimant. And he gets 22% when he takes him from turf to dirt. So this horse has got an excellent shot at hitting this board, I think, overall. Mm-hmm. And then the 2 is my price horse. This horse is the first time gelding. Ouch. That's all I can say. Trainer gets 14% with 46 plus days. Rest does have some solid work, so might be in the mix, but I like the top 3 overall.
And you started your pick 4 with the top 3, and then you decided to take the next race off, it looks like.
Well, yeah, because there's only 4 horses in there, so and I didn't have a solid pick in there. I thought it was just wide open, so I hit the all, and then I go my top 2 picks in the third and fourth leg.
So I like that 7 horse here. Charles is my top pick. Sting Music. Not only does it rate out in some of the data, but again, only 1 race so far. But just from a performance standpoint, this one has the most potential upside in its second career start. We haven't seen the best of Sting Music, most likely. Noble Gentleman, the 6 horse, is the second call for me. The last race was better than it looks on paper because the fractions were faster. Number 4, Tizzy Indy. Mike Smith told us a story a couple years ago about before the Kentucky Derby, Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith, that you got to pay close attention to how horses train on the dirt at Churchill Downs, because how they train there is how they run there, because he said the surface is peanut buttery, to use his words. He had a bullet workout in that Churchill Downs, so maybe he likes the track. Finally, number 1, Vera Cruzin. The 2 best races that the horses had absolutely win this race. For me, I'm going to do a pick 4 with the 1, 4, 6, 7. I'm going to go only half horses in the next race, Charles. I'll take half the next race off. 1, 2, 4 with the 6, 9, 11, and 15 on the back end of a race that I feel like is probably in the sequence and all but maybe 2. Race number 3 is our next race in this 9-race card. This time, Charles, we're getting away from the maiden stuff and the 2-year-olds.
Yeah, race number 3 is on the 16th. Claiming price of $16,000. Non-winners of 2 lifetime. Purse is $31,000. This is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races. Very simple.
So race 3 and 4 are both going to be a mile and a 16. So pay close attention to race 3. See how that race plays out. So far, Tactical Speed has been the appropriate way to run if you want to find yourself in the winner's circle, although a bunch, 41% have found the winner's circle going wire to wire. Inside 3 get a penalty. So keep that eye on. There's only 4 horses here, so 3 out of 4 of them are inside. The rest don't really matter, although 4 did get a bonus. So maybe Flores, the 4 horse, just from a positioning standpoint, from the post positions, might have an edge over the rest of this field. 4 horses, Charles. I mean, really, there's not a lot to say. And 4 horses, looking at this,
no,
it does look like the 4 horse is going to get the lead, though.
Yeah, it looks like the 4 will have the best chance of getting the lead at 67% chance. But I mean, the 3, as long as the 3 keeps that horse in check, it's going to turn out at the end probably all 4 are at the wire pretty much. Mm-hmm. If the 3 keeps the 4 in check. When it comes to simulation odds, I mean, basically with the other 2, with the 2 scratches, this is all going to change. You basically just have even money. We have 2-to-1 morning line on the 2. So, and then the 1, one's still there. Mm-hmm. Basically just under 4-to-1 and has 8-to-1 morning line.
Yeah, the 1 also has a good chance to run above par for this level. The only horse in the field to grade out with that score. Really no strong C zones, 4-horse field. Yeah, you probably want to be forwardly placed. Just looking at it, you got the 3 that does want to be on the lead, Sophisticated, probably going to be on the lead. That's, I think, in a short field, probably the best place to be is on the lead. Yeah. 4 horse will be right behind. Those 2 look like they kind of have some tiring issues as the race goes on. Zig Zappa, Werewolves of London. That one looks like it does have the best late pace, a few points better than In a Peach, but probably going to be a length and a half ahead of In a Peach as the race plays out. Looking at the total pace in here, Charles, basically the 2 horse, 9 points ahead. 10 points is one that you got to pay attention to. I've seen way too many times horses that look like this on paper, going to go off at 1-5, end up getting beat. And, well, we both have it on top. The numbers say it should be on top. Tell us why you think it'll be on top and why the case for the rest of them to beat it.
Well, first thing I put down on this race is this is an ugly race. I mean, you could probably even beat him running backwards for yourself. So
I'm glad you understand and appreciate my talents, Charles.
yeah, you do have talents running backwards.
Nice.
The 2 is my top choice, like you said here. I mean, it drops in class. The trainer gets 14% from, when he takes a horse from turf to dirt. Graham is back aboard, and Graham did well with this horse about 3 races back, I believe it was. And this horse, should be closing at the end, but he's going to have to stay pretty close because, like we just finished saying, that 4 and that 3 is going to be out there. The 4 is my second choice, drops in class, has the speed, like we said. There's the big question mark is this horse is 1 for 18. Not super exciting to get, The 1, tactical speed, trainer gets 24%, taking a horse from turf to dirt. Fits with the rest of these horses. And then, of course, the 3. The plus for the 3 is that he's got 7 pounds off. We got a rookie aboard. Tactical speed, I think. So fits here. I'd hit the all button, like you said in that last one. I'm hoping for the longest shot, of course. And you know what that means when I hit the all button?
It means a 1 to 5, baby. Single them up.
That's right. I'm just guaranteeing
the 1 to 5.
But that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, I got the 2 horse on top too in the short field. Looks like the 1 to beat. I think it's got a good. Obviously, he's got a good shot to win. The 3 horse, as you mentioned, a little bit of a weight break there. Charles has a really good chance to be the pace setter in a short field. I think that's the place you want to be on the track. Also, I remember when we talked with Scott Fiedler, the gentleman who wins boatloads of money in these contests. He mentioned in these short fields what the handicappers almost always do reflexively is just take the longest shot on the board. And he says more than their fair share win. So let's see if the 3 horse can pull up the upset. If it does, that's the one in my pick 4. Hopefully that's the one that I hitched in Charles's all button. Should really bump up because probably 60-70% of the tickets might single the 2 there. Number 1 in a Peach. I got to have that. My dog's name is Peach. Trainer Michael Evans, though, this is a big alpha angle for him. When he runs, normally he wins at 11%, but when he flips his horses from turf to dirt like he is doing today in a Peach, he wins at 24%. So doubling, more than doubling his win rate. Finally, Flores, hey, there's a 4-horse field. Someone has to finish fourth, so might as well be the 4. 4's across the board. It improved a little bit in its last race. Going to drop in class. That's the case for that one, but only 4 horses. And like I said, someone's got to be 4, Charles. 4-horse field, no bets for me. Got to pass. Unless you want to put like $2 on the 3 to win or something like that. That'd probably be the only bet I would make.
Yeah.
Or whichever one is the longest shot on the board at post time.
And it probably will be the 3, but
yeah, you never know, right?
Yeah.
People will watch the show, maybe they'll put a second. Again, the second race in a row.
People listening to me just goes, oh my God, Charles, we just got to follow Charles.
Yes, we'll just load up on that 1 to 2 or 1 to 5. Going back to the maiden claiming ranks, Charles, in race number 4, but we're sticking at a mile and a 16.
Yeah, mile 16, maiden claiming with 30,000. Purse is 50,000. This is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
Again, a mile and a 16th. You got tactical speed, but a bunch. More than 40% win wire to wire. Inside 3 penalty, 4 through 7 get a bonus, 8 and out. Charles, big time penalty in race number 4. We have more than 8 horses. So the 8 and the 9, they can have some problems out there based upon the post position biases. Doesn't look like the 2 horses are going to have any problems when the race starts, though.
Well, no, but I mean, the 3 is going to have the best shot of getting the lead at the quarter pole at 30% chance. But, there's a couple other horses in there, as you can tell. There's a couple other speed horses in there. So let's see how that really turns out. You might have a couple of them out there running and gunning. So it might set up for the closers here. Who knows? But the simulation odds, the 2 at basically, 4 to 5?
About 1 to 2, yeah.
Something like that. And you got 8 to 1 morning line. Now, there's an overlay. That's a really nice overlay. Yeah, and then we got the 8. It's it's right there almost the same.
Yeah, it's about right.
3 to 1, 3.5 to 1. So.
And then as far as our par plus, I kind of looked at that because these new numbers get me a little confused sometimes. But Malibu Smart, 55, 56, 57% chance that it runs a speed figure above par. The 8-horse Salsita Verde, that one, also about a 30% chance. So 3 of them in here have shown that they have the ability to run the average race or better for the average winner. Try Best looks like it's going to get the most comfortable pace based upon our projected numbers, along with the par plus score. So maybe that's one to keep an eye on, that 4-horse. I threw him out of my picks. Probably not the best idea as a favorite, especially since he lines up as the lone E. Everybody else wants to be middle back. But that means that horse is kind of dependent on being forwardly placed. It doesn't look like that's where it's going to be with this group, though, Charles, although it's only a 5-point difference from front to back. So it's a 1-length lead. So they're all going to hop out of there. One misstep, a little bit of a delay coming out of the gate, and really any horse here could take the lead. So far, the 3 and the 6 haven't been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. This race is probably going to come down to late legs in there, Charles, since they're all competitive coming out of the gate. Malibu Smart and Salsita Verde, the 2 horses that had the strongest chance to go a par score, they have the best total pace numbers in here. The 5-point advantage for Malibu Smart. The overlay, strong chance to go. Maybe that horse from Charles merits a bunch of consideration that you didn't give it, it looks like.
No, I didn't give it because, I mean, I just didn't like the way its run pattern in this race as he's been doing. But definitely does have a shot. I'm not going to deny that because this is kind of a wide open race.
Yes.
And on my pick 4, I wish I could have put a couple more in here. But I'm going with the 3 here. Drops in class. Cherie DeVoe, the trainer, gets 18% with 90-plus days of rest. This horse has the speed probably to steal it. It just depends how much pressure they want to give this horse. So let's see. The 4 is my second choice here. Tactical Speed ran second last time out. McPeak gets 19% when he puts him in a maiden claiming. And then the 8, Amos, gets 18%. Second after a claim, excuse me. Trainer also gets 19% with 90-plus days of rest. So they could do that. I like actually 46 days of rest personally, but 90. If you could get in the double-digit percentage, you're doing good. And this horse also drops in class today. The 7 is my last choice here in this race. Ran third last time out. Second start after a layoff. Trainer gets 14% with that angle. Does have some tactical speed. Could sit pretty close. See what it could do at the end. But I'm going to say, let's see what the speed. If they got to catch that speed horse first.
Well, I made a mistake, Charles. So I just put the 5 in the winner's circle. I fat fingered the 5 when I put my picks in instead of the 5. So keep an eye on the 5 horse, no matter what happens. Shawgirl here because I had to correct my picks. The 2 horse, Malibu Smart. This one's going to rate, I feel like, right off the pace there, Charles. And then does that have that strong late legs, 5-point advantage over the rest of the field? Nice overlay there, too. Strong chance to run a race over par. Why not take the 8-1 odds if that's what we get? Imperator Furiosia. Similar improvement in its third start of its career as it showed in its second race compared to the debut. Should be a winner, perhaps, Charles, and a Z pattern in race number 2. So the early pace number here, a little bit of a break in the mid pace number, and then second win down the stretch. Number 4, which I accidentally typed in 5. So again, maybe you want to just load up on the 5 horse at 15-1. Try Best did tie for the top last race. Speed Vigor has really 3 sharp workouts to keep the saw sharp for this race. And then finally, the 3 horse Domina. It is the only pure maiden special weight dropper in the field. Everybody else has tried the maiden claiming ranks before. This one's making that biggest class drop for the first time. Had enough time off between races to show some improvement with some fresh legs. I don't know, however, in those first couple of races that even the time off will be enough to overcome the gap it looks like it has with some of the other horses in here. Race number, we got 11 minutes to race number 2, so we got plenty of time to do probably race number 5 in this 9 card field. Looking at race number 5, the middle race, Charles, we're going to go to the grass in this one.
Yes, mile and an eighth on the turf, but this is for maidens. Purse is $120,000. This is for 3-year-olds and upward.
120 grand. So they have some idea that maybe some quality horses in here, Charles. At a mile and an eighth, on the turf, my friend. We're looking at 4 races so far, so really not a data set to consider. None went wire to wire. Looks like the farther you are from the rail, at least preliminarily in the first 4 Quartetta races, the better off you are. Speed is probably not an issue, Charles, but still something you got to contend with. And the speed there, Orby 1 on the inside, you're going to have to run that one down at some point, it looks like.
Yeah, we got the 51% chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole. Most likely that's going to be the truth. That's how I see it too. But you might get 1 or 2 that might push this horse, like the 4 itself. But when it comes to simulation odds, we have the 4 at basically 4-1, getting 30-1 on morning line. That's a huge overlay.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Matter of fact, I haven't even seen that before. I don't think that much.
That's the only one. So
the 9 6-1, and 15-1 morning line. So that's another overlay. But I've never seen one that huge of difference.
Yeah, and if that one wins and neither one of us has it, Charles, we're going to be kicking ourselves, right?
I know, but
kicking ourselves and talking soprano afterwards. The 4 horse, not only is it an overlay, Charles, but it also looks like it has the strongest chance to run a speed figure above par. So I don't know what both of us are missing. Pretty good C zone in here. Not as well as the 7 C zone or the 15 C zone. Got to kind of keep an eye out on those 15, those AE horses. Trainers want in for a reason, right, Charles?
Yeah, that's right.
Our pace set up for this deep field, which originally had 18 horses, Charles. Had to do a little extra work in here. Pretty balanced race. The 6 horse in here, Utah Beach. So far, not being able to finish within 5 lengths of the leader, but small data set. So some of the data you can kind of have to have a little bit of artwork to this as well. As we mentioned, Orby 1, 10 points faster than the next closest horse out of the gates, Charles. That one's likely your pace setter. It's on the inside. It's going to have a whole lot to clear with the 1 horse in there. It looks like it's kind of going to walk out of the gates to 1. So maybe a 2-length lead for that one. As far as the late speed is concerned, it doesn't have any. 12 Earl of Dazzle has the most, but then that one could be way, way off the pace. So you're going to see the horses crisscross as they come down the backstretch. Our total pace in this race, Charles, look at this. It's pretty much wide open. You have from here to here, all but 3 horses within 9 points of each other. Again, a misstep, a bump, any of those things, and those horses can overcome that. Wide open race, Charles, and somehow we ended up on 3 of the same horses out of 4.
Yeah, going back to that 4, what we were talking about on it, that horse has a tendency to quit a lot. So I think that's what shied us away from that horse. The 6 is my top choice. Ran second last 2 times. And guess what? Today, first time gelding, not happy.
Angry.
Not happy. And the blinkers come off today. This horse is totally bred for all this. So I think this is.
So do you think, just going back, so they cut, right? And usually they cut to help a horse get a little bit more focused. Is that why they took the blinkers off? They think A will negate B.
And well, you got the blinkers coming off will make them actually settle down. And then cutting them makes them settle down and focus and all that stuff too. So
she's going to be doubly focused today.
Well, I mean, and the horse has been running second. It's not like it's been doing terrible. But the thing is, it's probably doing things outside of the racing that can hurt somebody or itself, So that's probably more of it than anything. But I do like the 6 in this spot. But the 11 is my second choice here. Ran second last 3 times. It's a second start after a layoff. Trainer gets 18% with that angle. It's a second times Lasix user, which I really do like that angle. The 5 has some tactical speed. Could sit there where it wants to. Second time with a second start with Lasix also. Looks like it totally fits with this group. And then the 9 is my last one here. My price horse. Ran second last time out. Second start after a layoff. Trainer gets 17% with that angle. Plus the trainer gets 29% second time on the turf. A lot of pluses there. So I'm going to do a trifecta with all 4 of my horses. Then I'm going for the fence. I'm going to hit this pick 5 today.
Oh,
you heard it here first.
Bold.
Calling it.
Information. Go ahead.
I'm telling you, I'm hitting it.
All right, he's hitting it. Just
I got the top 4 picks here to start off the race, and the same thing with the second leg, top 4 picks. Then I got my single in that third leg. It all is about that single. And then the fourth leg, I got my top 3, and in the final leg, I got my top 2 picks.
That's a bold proclamation. I'm going to hit it. Well, I hope you do, Charles, because that's the point of us coming on here to begin with. I like the well, who do I like? Let me bring up my notes, and I'll tell you who I like. I know I like the 11, Conversing. As you mentioned, the horse has finished third 3 times. So it's 3 times our good friend Chris Parmalou's angle. He says that in these maiden races that the horse that finished second only has to beat 1 this time. So that horse only has to beat 1. And the thing about some of the previous races, when you look through some of the horses it raced against, there are some italics in there, meaning those horses came back to win that finished in those races. Number 15, Fayette Spirit. Very consistent performer, a pair of 3 furlong workouts since his last race. Says the trainer wants to get this horse out of the gates a little bit quicker. In addition, if the horse does get out quicker, does have some robust late pace numbers. So if it's in contention early on and hangs on to the ability at the end of the race, could run by them all. Number 9, Utah Beach, Charles. So a pair of well-beaten seconds in its couple of races so far. Does have a really good bunch of nice workouts since its last race on August the 31st. And then Presider, your long shot, my long shot, Charles. First race on grass went pretty well. Finished second by a neck. Was all the way out on the front in that race. But if you look at the late speed numbers relative to everybody else, if it gets out on the front, they're on par. One of those horses that might be difficult to pass if you can't catch them. Trifecta for me, 6, 11, 15 with the 11, 15 with the 6, 9, 11, 12, and 15, Charles. See, race 2, how far along off the weed before that one kicks off, Charles?
Let's see here.
It says, look like they got 2 minutes. They're still in front of the gate. So let's see if we can do race 6 real fast. What do you say?
Let's go for it. Okay, race 6. 6 furlongs, optional claimer of 125,000. Non-winners of 2. Purse is 134,000. And this is for fillies, 3-year-olds, which have never won 2 races other than maiden, claiming starter, or state bred, which have never won 3 races, or a claiming price of 125.
6 furlongs, tactical speed, 21% go wire to wire. The rail is fair. 2 through 7 get penalized. If you wear an 8 or out, that's best. So Charles, in race number 6, we don't have any 8 or out, but we do need some speed in there, Charles. And looks like these 2 out here are going to go the fastest.
Yeah, we got the 4 at 56% chance of getting that lead, but the 5 is going to have a say in it, I think, a little bit at 35%. So I think those 2, basically whoever breaks the best probably will get it. Simulation odds, we have the 4 at just under even money, and we got 3-1 morning line, so that's a pretty good overlay.
Yes, and they all look like they have a shot to go above par here. Looks like the 1, the 2, and the 4, Miss Arlington, should be the most comfortable with the pace in here, Charles. In race number 6, the early pace, look at that. The 4 and the 3 out here by themselves, although these have a lot of versatility. So it should be a very competitive race, tactical early on. If you look at the early speed, you do see that these 3 here, the 3, the 4, and the 5, have the most early speed. And you want to see the 4 and 3 up front. The late speed favors Effortlessly Elegant. That would be Terry. Maybe, or Tom, maybe. And then finally, our total pace numbers here show us that the 4-horse Miss Arlington, 6 points clear of the rest of the field. Only Lover Girl looks like it doesn't fit in here, Charles. Real fast, what are your picks?
Okay, well, they're walking behind the gate. The 1, it drops in class today. Toss out that last race, and the trainer gets 17% with 90-plus days of rest, 18% with second-time Lasix use. That's what we got going on here today. Does have that tactical speed, so look out. The 5, another one with tactical speed that could sit right there, 3rd or 4th. Trainer gets 16% with 46-plus days of rest. Well bet last time out. Solid works. Then I have the 4. This one definitely has the speed. Ran second last time out. 3rd start after a layoff. And then the 2, my final pick here. Tactical speed should be most likely sitting 3rd in this race. Drops in class. Norm Casey gets 17% with 90-plus days of rest, and he's been hot the last 14 days, so look out for that. And I think Go straight to the race.
All right, I'm going to real quick. 2 drops from a grade 1 after the top last race speed figure. The 5 parity, most upside in the race. Preps are outstanding. The number 1 Royal Spa dropping from a grade 3, won her lone race at the distance. Likes Churchill because that's where it won its debut. And the 4 Miss Arlington, third up after holding the speed longer, has some great, exceptional early and mid pace numbers. All right, race number 2, Charles. They're off and running, and it looks like right now the 7 horse. Well, it kind of gave up the lead. So it looks like the 1 horse, Veracruzan, and now the 4 horse, Tizzy Indy. Those 2 are up on the front. The 7 horse has moved into third. The 6 horse in there, Charles, is in 4th place. Big gap between those front runners, and then the 5 and the 2, which are way in the back there. We did see some closers, though, in the opening race find their way towards the front. They went through the opening half in 46 and 8. That's a pretty quick opening half, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some of the horses in the back find their way to the front. Looks like the 1 horse right now is running the best of the front 4, but the 4 horses still kind of got a good hold on it. So this race looks like the 1 horse, the shortest price, is the one that's going to have a chance to win, although the 4 horse continues to hold the lead. On the outside, it looks like the 6 horse maybe in the back there trying to make a little bit of a run, but the 4 horse is going to be your walk-away winner right now, Charles. So it's going to go 4. The favorite going to get beat. It looks like the favorite's going to end up second here or maybe third. The horse on the rail is really trying to push its way up into there, and it's going to go 4-7-1-6, 4-7-1-6. I think that's how
I'm going to say 4-1-7.
Well, I'm going to go 7 so that you can have the ice cold trifecta, Charles. How about
But
that?
I mean, it was, well, yeah, that would be nice, but I think the 1 got it. But yeah, that 4, it didn't get the lead right away. The 7 actually did, but the 4 took over pretty quick after that. So
sure did. And then what's good about that too, Charles, is we're both alive. You're alive all the way now to the 4th race because you have all in the next leg.
Yeah, so I'm already a winner next race, which we already know I'm already a winner.
Yes, you're already a winner, Charles. We know that. All right, Charles. Let's see if we can figure out who's going to win race number 7.
All right, race number 7. 6.5 furlongs. Claiming price of $50,000. Purse is $68,000. This is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races, or 3-year-old fillies.
So if you're 3-year-old, you're automatically qualified. That's what that sounds like, right?
Yeah,
regardless of what you've done. So
Yeah.
for 6.5 furlongs, tactical speed, about a quarter of the horses go wire to wire. Very strong inside 3 bias at this distance. 4 and out, they get discounted, Charles. So if you have some speed in race number 7 and you're on the inside, you got a shot, man. But it looks like the majority of the legs are on the outside. That's where the Buffalo Girls are.
Yeah, and the 9 is the main one of that. 36% chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole, and it's probably most likely that's going to be your leader, in my opinion. Simulation odds, we got the 1 at just slightly over 4-1. We got 12-1 morning line. That's not too bad. We have the 11 at just slightly over even money. We got 8-1 morning line.
Not bad at all. None of them have shown the ability, at least so far, to get to par for this level. So all underachievers with a chance to win, Charles. No question about that. The 8 horse does look like it has the strongest C-zone score. I do like this combination from time to time. A decent C-zone score with a good shot to get to the lead. So maybe that 9 horse makes some good work here. I hope that's how that plays out. A little bit of foreshadowing there. Looking at the race shape for race number 7. Pretty balanced race. A bunch of horses in the middle, so it's a middle finger race, it looks like, Charles. If you can get to the front, you probably got a decent shot here. Early speed does belong to Arden's Assault, although it got a lot of speed to its inside, a lot of speed, at least tactical speed, so it's going to have to earn the lead. I don't think they're just going to give it the lead. It's got to earn it. Maybe uses a little too much pace, make a fool out of me. At the end of the race, looks like most of these horses got some similar late speed in there too, although that 9 horse better do better than that if you're going to make it your top pick. Your total pace horse in here, Charles, a lot again, very competitive, all in here. So this one looks like it's wide open to me. couple of Sesame Street horses to look at here. The 1 horse, the lone EP, the 8 horse, the lone PC type. Sometimes these horses, they might not look like it on paper, but they get trips that fit really nicely because they can kind of squeeze in the spot where they want to be and have some versatility to take advantage of it. We don't have the 1 or the 8 in our picks anywhere, and we might regret at least not having the 1 in there.
I won't, because I have the winner, the 2.
All right, well, there you go.
This is my best bet of the day, the 2.
That's your single, a better win.
Well, yeah, I better win. No, I really like the way this race is setting up for this race. I mean, this horse, because he doesn't need the lead, but he does have the speed to keep up, and he does have a decent kick. And so I think he's in the best spot to take over when it needs to be. One last time out, 3rd start after a layoff, my favorite angle. Trainer gets 22% also with that angle. And you get Luis Saez. So there's a lot of pluses with that horse. And the 6 horse, my second choice, drops in class today. Ran even last time. The trainer gets 17% when you take him from turf to dirt, and 21% first time in claiming. First time in claiming. The 5 is my 3rd choice. Ran 2nd last time out. Steve Asmussen gets 18% with 46 plus days of rest. Another horse that does have tactical speed, but I don't believe this horse is faster than the 2, so I think it's going to be a little bit further back. The 11, this horse, 3rd start after a layoff. Another one has tactical speed, but I think this one's going to be further back also than the 2. John Ortiz is the trainer. He gets 14% overall, so he's not a bad trainer. He's actually very good. But good luck trying to beat my 2. I got my win bet on my 2, and then I'm going to do a pick 3. Just like in my pick 5, I singled out this 2. Then I'm going my top 3 picks in the next race, and then I'm going top 4 picks in the final 9.
All right. I'm going to go with that 9, Arden's Assault. The reason why I'm going to go with that one is if you look on the 2 7-furlong races, the few times that the horse ran, like the tweener sprint, if you will, it by far the best races on fast grass. Fast dirt. Otherwise, a lot of the other works have been on turf. So if you can repeat any of those 2 7-furlong races, would win. And those 2 wins both were smashing wire-to-wire types. This horse is going to be on the front, Charles, on a fast track at a distance it should like. Why not if it goes off at 12-1? Number 5, Vow, a pair of seconds in a couple of races at Churchill Downs. What I like about this horse is it puts in a consistent effort from beginning to end. If you look at those pace numbers in the race, there's not like a drop-off anywhere. It's really consistent, so that tells me that horse is fit. Number 2, Sparkle of Hope. Charles is single. It is making his favorite 3rd start after a layoff. Improved from its 1st to 2nd start, and then has a blistering Churchill workout since then. Remember what I said about Mike Smith earlier. Watch how they train at Churchill. That's how they run at Churchill. And if he runs like he trained, Charles, your 2 horse could win this one. And then finally, number 6, Promise of Hope. Consistent performer that really has faced the best company of this group. I'm going to go with that 9 horse in an exact key box for $1 with the 1, 2, 5, and 6 because that burnt out the rest of my budget. 2 races to go, but before we do that, Charles, in race number 2, just a little cleaning up to do there. It did end up going 4, 7, 1, and 6 in race number 2. So, Charles, you did have the ice cold. There you go, my man. And then I also had the superfecta in there with my 4th pick. So we on that race pretty nicely. Let's see if we can be on race number 8 just as nicely. 2 to go. The first leg of the late daily double. What are they doing here?
We got another one on turf here, which is nice. Mile and 16th allowance of 127,000. Non-winners of 1. Purse is 127,000. For 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won a race other than maiden claiming starter, or which have never won 2 races.
The profile of a mile and an 1/8 winner on the turf. They've done it 10 times. Mile and 16th, Charles. They've done it 10 times. Closers are the way to go right here, Charles. Although 1 of the 10 did get the lead and did not relinquish it. And so far, nobody's won from the rail. So Midnight Rising could have a difficult task right there. 2 and 3, though, they've gotten a bonus. 4 through 7 played under par, and so far 8 and out in the 10 races, been just close to fair. Speed, Charles, if you're going to go, you have a 10% chance to go to wire. And if anyone's going to go wire to wire, well, there's a few of them that have a shot. So maybe it'll be another race they don't go wire to wire because they got to fight too hard to get the lead.
Well, we have it as the 4 has the best chance at 23%. But also the 9 has a shot at 20. And you know what? Do not count out that 6. That 6 has got that sneaky speed. So let's see what happens there. If it doesn't get the lead, it'll be sitting right there. When it comes to simulation odds, do we have anything?
Yeah, another one of those big 30-1 drops.
5-1 to 30-1. Geez, overlays. Woo, that's huge.
Yeah, none so far. Oh, I'm sorry, Charles. Go ahead.
No, that's it. What we got?
Yeah, none so far have shown that they can do the par plus. So again, bunch of underachievers. Going to win at a level probably too high for them, but considering they're facing other underachievers, be all right. C-Zone, you got the 5, the 6, and the 12 as your strongest chance to get a race pace that they're comfortable with. In the race shape here, Charles, most of the horses are middle back. So maybe speed doesn't really get the job done so far, but if you can get out to the front here with some reasonable fractions, I think you got a good chance to steal this one. You mentioned Gatlinburg. Keep an eye on that one with the sneaky speed. It does have some sneaky speed. It and Safe Trip Home, the 4, about a length or so faster than everybody else. But the 4, interestingly, Charles, is also a typical closer. So a left arrow horse, as we call them. The late speed, Leave It to the Kitten. The 13 horse in there, along with Roja, Redemption. The closers will be closing for sure. In your total pace does paint the picture. Well, you got the 13, the 4, the 1, and the 6, Charles. 6 points better. Maybe the winner comes out of there, and I don't think either one of us has the 13 in our pick. So maybe we got to revisit that.
13, but I do think it could possibly be like a 3-horse race here. The 6 is my top choice here. I believe it has enough speed. If it does not get the lead, it could sit second, no problem, and take over when it wants to. Ran 3rd last time out. Totally bred for all this. The 1, now we just said that was the bad post, right? Well, I kind of like the 1 a little bit here. Ran 3rd last time out, drops in class. Trainer gets 18% with 90-plus days of rest. This one's much better at closing at the end. So all this horse has to do is keep semi-close, be very dangerous. The 4 is my 3rd choice here. 2nd start after a layoff. Trainer gets 27% with that angle. Another one that's bred for this, but guess what? This horse is a first-time gelding. And there's a lot of ouches out there, a lot of angry horses today out there on the track. Has some of that speed, as we show on the charts there. Could be your leader, could not be, but it could be right there. And then the 8 horse is my final choice here, my price horse. 1 last time out. Tactical, but more on the closing side of speed. The horse does move up in class today, but it did win last time out, so why not? So if you go back on my pick 3, I did take my top 3 on this race.
I'm going to start off here with the 4 horse, Safe Trip Home. That's what we're hoping for here with this horse. Had kind of a tough trip last time out, Charles. That was the first time the horse ran on turf. Still performed fairly well. So a cleaner trip for the 4 horse works, gets the job done. Gatlinburg, the 6 horse, your top choice, did run better pace numbers through the first half mile in its last race. A couple of nice workouts in between to keep the horse fit, maybe even more fitter. And on the more fitter, that's a great use.
That's a great word.
There. Oh, yes. The turf record, though, is pretty solid. 3 times out, a win and a couple of thirds. So 3 for 3 on the grass. The 3 horse, well, go 3 for 3 straight to the 3. Tepu. I don't know. Maybe the people who own that horse can help us pronounce it. This one has not been on the grass since June. Charles took the summer off, but it's going to return for the winter fall racing. If you look at those turf races, they're very competitive relative to the rest of this field, and you're going to get a price. So big chance for this horse to step forward in the 2nd start after a layoff. And then finally, the 1 horse, as we mentioned, the rail kind of sucks so far, but maybe after dropping from a 3rd place in a grade 3 last out, going against some lighter competition here, can overcome that rail ding and still should be able to get a good trip tactically. Just got to make sure it doesn't get shuffled back as everybody goes around it early on. But that early speed should put it in a good position, Charles, I think. No money left for me. So we're going to go on to race number 9, where I don't have any money for that one either. But we do still have some thoughts for this 7 furlong affair.
Yeah, 7 furlongs, claiming price of 12.5. Purse is 39,000. This is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up.
7 furlongs, just to check it out. Early speed does good. 35 out of 100. Go wire to wire. The rail for Stormy Empire is fair, but it's a little bit better if you wear a 2 or a 3. 4 and out, they get penalized just a little bit. Not deal killers, but certainly makes the task a little bit more difficult. So you have inside 3 speed, Charles, in the last race here. You got to crack at it. But, man, there's almost no speed to the inside. It's really here middle out.
Yeah, middle. The 7 is got the best chance getting that lead at the quarter pole, 61%. The 8 might have a say in that a little bit, but I think it's going to be the 7 out in front at the quarter pole. When it comes to simulation odds, we have, survey says, the 10, slightly under 2 to 1. We have 4.5 to 1 morning line. And then we have that 12 at 4 to 1 and 5 to 1 morning line.
Look out for this Lunar Ice here. It's got a good shot, nice overlay, strong Z-zone in there as well. 44% chance that horse can hit a par or better speed figure. The 8 horse in there is another one that has a pretty strong chance to hit that par speed figure up front right there. Icy stare down too. I mean, you got that good shot to be on the lead, strong C zone as well. We've seen that combination come home. It's shaping up like a competitive race early on from the data, Charles. Looking at race number 9, balanced race in here. The one horse in here that is unlike any of the others, Charles. The lone EP, the 13, Grand Chemin. You get that lone EP again. Could look like crap on paper, but just can get a really good race. Early speed, since 35% go wire to wire, is pretty competitive up front there, Charles. A lot of them are going to get out from front to back, maybe 2 lengths. So it'll be very competitive. Should favor a horse that has some late legs. Lunar Ice might be a little too far off the pace, but LA Star looks like it could be in the mix as a closer. Forever Home, the 8 horse, a closer with some early speed. So you got a left arrow type there with the 8. Our total pace in the last race. You got this group down here. The 8 to 2, the 10 to 12, the 5 to 1, and the 9. All grade out 5 points better than everybody else. Although the 8 horse, Forever Home, 9 points clear of the rest of the field. That means that horse has a chance, if everything goes according to this, to win by about 2 lengths, Charles.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's kind of wide open. But I'm going to go with two of the top 3 C-zone horses. The 12 drops in class, cuts back in distance today, has that tactical speed that could sit second, third, possibly even fourth, but as long as it's very close. Trainer gets 11% when he takes him from a route to a sprint. And then the other good C-zone horse, the 10, won his last time out, tactical, but really much more on the closing side. If this horse could keep up a little bit closer than normal, this horse will be very dangerous at the end. So trainer gets 33% when he takes him from a route to a sprint. This horse does move up in class, but remember, he just finished winning, so that's okay there. And then the 8 horse is my third choice. This horse, the trainer gets 13% first after a claim. Has some of that tactical speed, should be sitting about 4th all the way around. Totally fits with this group. And then the 7. The 7 is probably your speed. You're probably your leader at the quarter pole for sure. And this horse drops in class. The question is, can this horse hang on at the end? Trainer gets 15% second after a claim. So if you go back on my pick 3, I took all 4. If you go back on my pick 5, I took the top 2.
Well, I got the 8 horse in here, Charles. So maybe your pick 4 has a better shot. I mean, your pick 3 would have been great if you had the 8 in there, because we both could cheer that one on. But Forever Home, claim and drop. That's always interesting, a little bit scary when a horse gets claimed and then dropped. But when you look at the purse money in that race, Charles, would make it a very profitable if the horse won and then collected its share. Did show some better pace numbers to the first half mile last out. Not only did it show some better early pace, but sometimes this horse even has some stakes level, triple-digit late pace numbers. So if it can get out to the front and use that triple-digit late speed, you can't pass what you can't catch. Number 12, Rock the Nile. Held its speed longer last time in a rout with similar fractions that it ran in the prior race in a sprint. So cutting back to 7 furlongs, Charles, I think you like that angle. Number 13, Grand Chemin. Trainer wanted in this race for a reason, Charles, and I think that reason was they were putting that horse on turf. Maybe they thought they had a turf horse, Charles. And then the last race got moved off the turf and moved onto the dirt, and the horse came alive. And then since then, they put the horse on the track to work out on dirt and put a bullet work in. So maybe the light went off and the trainers, wait a minute, this is a dirt horse, not a grass horse. Finally, Lunar Ice, top last race speed figure for that 10. 4 races in a row, it's up that speed figure. Again, Barry Meadows, Skeptical Handicapper, a book you might want to buy for your horse racing family members for Christmas or a gift. That one has, if you're a data person like me, so much information in there. It's incredible. But the question is that this horse, can he take his all-weather performance to dirt? So all the good races have been on the all-weather. The few races that I had on the dirt weren't so good. That's why I downgraded that one a little bit. But if it can make the transition, can win this race too. No bets for me, Mr. Charles, because as I mentioned, I'm all out of money and we're all out of races. Here are our full picks for the day, Mr. Charles. Race number 1. I think who won the race one? Who won race 1? The 3-horse won the first race. And then the 4-horse ran the second race. So, Charles, so far, both of your winners as your top pick. Good work, my friend. The rest of the day looks like this for the both of us. Tomorrow, you and I will be back to do Aqueduct. So we'll start about 10 minutes for post. Keep an eye out for that. And then also, again, tonight, Jamie and Sean return to Horse Center with Felipe Valdez. Keep an eye on that. And you see Ronaldo wanting to know when the story's coming up. Ronaldo, it's coming up soon, I promise. Just busy all the time. And then, of course, Evangeline Downs tonight. The free track at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link down in the description below. All right, Charles, any final thoughts from you before you and I get out of here today?
No, actually, just the sales are going on this week and all next part of next week. So if anybody's interested in going to the sale, shoot me an email. I'll probably be there for sure. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So anyway, that's all I have to say. It's great weather out here, so let's get this and finish off the year good.
And Charles says he wants to hit that pick 5 today. He absolutely said you can put that one, etch it in stone. So go ahead and do that, I guess. All right, folks, no matter what you're doing today, like Charles will be rooting for that 2-horse. We certainly hope that you have all of God's blessings and favor today, and every single thing that you do, like Charles' 2-horse today in a single, ends up in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us, Charles, and I look forward to joining you tomorrow for Trent Thursday at Aqueduct. Have a fantastic hump day.